The New Zealand Kiwi Foundation in Northland is one example of a successful community Kiwi conservation group. Project leader Dr. Greg Blunden talks about what works for them.
The Kiwi Foundation began its work in 2000 on the Kerikeri Peninsula here in the Bay of Islands, and since then things have expanded dramatically, and this line sort of demonstrates there's the Russell Peninsula through Kerikeri Inlet up towards Takao Bay and up to Matauri, and you can see that now there's quite a large swathe of land that has pest management primarily for kiwi, and it adds up to about 12,000 hectares at this stage.
I imagine it's quite a big task deciding to protect kiwi in such a big area, so what sorts of people did you have to get on board?
You have to get everyone involved. We've had experts giving time from DOC and other organisations the whole period. At the other end of it, we've got the council, and the district plan says wonderful things, but in effect it does nothing to actually protect kiwi. You have to make it happen, and so we didn't get far there, but in the years since, the council's been subject to a lot of lobbying, and now we're ending up with things like pet-free subdivisions. This is 10 years down the track, but it's a major advance. Getting back to what we need, what do you have to use? You have to use traps, toxins if you want to, and finding out all that information, who provides them, how much they cost, what you're allowed to do, you know, because as soon as you use a poison you've got to look at the health regulations. And so gathering knowledge, getting all the people behind you is the key element. The other way to gather people is to send out information, so newsletters, and we had a couple of open days, one was here, one further up the coast. Kiwi open days to let people find out what was happening.
How do you go about sourcing funding for these kind of projects?
Funding's essential. There's only so much volunteers can do, and you've got to buy equipment, and these we feel you've got to pay for professional trappers. But before you start that, you've got to get your organisation registered. That means incorporated or a charitable trust. Then you can actually source money and use it. Otherwise it's very difficult. When you start looking for money, the main Kiwi funding, if you like, comes through the Bank of New Zealand Save the Kiwi Trust, and I describe that as seed money in a lot of instances. You get that on board, put it into your project application, and then you can go out and get other bits of funding from Lottery Grants Board, WWF New Zealand, all sorts of other trusts and agencies out there. The Biodiversity Condition Fund's been fantastic, but it's that seeding money is really, really important. And the other critical part of these applications is the landowners go in there, and that's classed as in-kind contribution, their time, their contributions, their purchase of traps or toxins. And then usually the Landcare group or the Kiwi group, they put in their time and bits, and so it all comes together in a big partnership. Farmers are landowners too. They're the biggest landowners, but they can contribute in lots of ways. Whilst they have dogs, farm dogs are trained animals. They're trained to do a job. If they don't do the job, they go. At the same time, farmers are potentially very good for kiwi, because if they adopt the notion that kiwi live there and need to be looked after, they can do one heck of a lot on their farms in their daily farming practice to look after kiwi.
Greg, did you approach developers around here as well?
We've approached everyone, and developers are very important because everyone knows what's happening. The whole coast is changing dramatically, and developers are the key instrument of change. Locally, all the local developments now are pet-free developments that must have pest management in place, and in most cases have signage as well. Now there's a different category of developer, and that's the more large scale, some of whom are overseas, and examples are Kauri Cliffs, Madakar Station and Mountain Development Company, the latter two on Purirua Peninsula. Now these people are doing developments in a different way from these local ones. They're buying prime bits of real estate, coastal real estate, but they're buying it for its landscape value, not so much, okay, there are more houses going in there, but the landscape and the kiwi and the other wildlife are an intrinsic element of it, and the planting of native trees and stuff like that. And so on balance, I think these larger developments are quite good. They've totally supported the Kiwi initiatives, and to the extent where most of the properties, those ones, don't have pets. A distinctive feature of the Kerikeri Peninsula and the Russell Peninsula and some of the other projects around the place is that kiwi exist with people. And this presents special problems because New Zealanders are used to having cats and dogs. And really, cats and dogs are bad for kiwi. They're bad for all wildlife. So what we have to do, the essential advocacy, is to demonstrate to people that controlling their dogs and their cats, even better not having them, is the ideal solution. But man, it's so hard to do, you know, because the dog is often a member of the family, so to speak, and the cat's just a cat, doesn't do anything. My cat doesn't catch this, you know, and it's awful. And so 99% of dog owners will say, my dog wouldn't chase a kiwi because it's so well controlled, etc., etc. What we've got to do is change that worldview, if you like, and get them thinking that my dog and my cat make an impact on nature, they kill things, and get them to look after them in such a way that it doesn't happen. Because we're not saying, no, you can't have pets. You know, that would be fatal. You've got to say, be responsible, control your pets. Kauri Cliffs is a special example to talk about, really. And one, they're the ideal model in the sense that they've paid for all the trapping expertise, all the equipment and toxins. We've provided the advocacy, the setup knowledge, the pest monitoring and the kiwi monitoring. So it's a wonderful partnership at no cost to the community, if you like. They've got kiwi up there, and recently Michael Campbell was seen setting free a juvenile kiwi on the golf course. And the really great thing about that is that Michael Campbell's no screaming greenie. You know, he's sort of, middle New Zealand loves Michael Campbell, and it's this notion of getting kiwi out of the green corner and putting it in mainstream New Zealand. And that's how we're going to save it, by doing that.
Kiwi Foundation is a project covering a large area and involving many people. Its beginnings were small, and that's a key message. Begin small with achievable goals, inspire and motivate people, and look to other projects or BNZ Save the Kiwi for help and support.